Hey, happy Memorial Day to all the veterans and everybody out there that's in the service or out there fighting right now. I just want to do a video real quick on how I came in this morning to do some things at the shop, and I realized that I ran over something in one of the properties. I do overgrown properties and that, so obviously I ran over something and my tire was dead flat. So I want to do a video on how I fix this, and even out in the field how I would fix a flat or anything like that. I also just put a trash can on my on the mower. You know, I get pretty much everything at Walmart. So I bolted this trash can, you know, so I don't move or nothing. Bolted it on there. There was already a hole on the side for that bottom bolt, and I went ahead and drilled another hole. There's nothing in there that you just got to watch, where you're drilling with the wires and everything. But yeah, I went ahead and put the trash can on there. That way, once I'm going in the yards and everything, before I was picking up the trash, either putting it in my back pocket or going back and forth to the trash can at the property, customer's trash can. So I was like, I need to go ahead and put a trash can on this. I got another one down there for the 48 once I get it rolling, and these ones are pretty good. The lids, it's just basically a small tote square one at Walmart that I picked up, the Hyper Tough. It doesn't sit out too far from the rear tire, so I still should be able to get in the small gates with no problem. But yeah, let me run you through, show you how I do my tires. So you always want to go to Walmart, get you a nice tire repair kit, a bunch of plugs. Got my plugs, and then this tote, this is my setup, you know what I mean. So I keep my backpack sprayer right there, my rakes. I got a regular leaf rake, and then I got a smaller rake for in between the hedges and stuff. Got my push mower, I keep it strapped up right there, don't move. And then this tote right here, I got keep my boots and everything in here. So I like these old school, let the air out. I like these old school gas cans. They're great, man. You got the filler, or to let the air out, the breather there. I keep my keep everything in here. So I got my pump, again from Walmart. Don't have to be expensive. Got my Roundup, I keep everything in here. My dustpan I keep for when I'm doing like leaf cleanups. When you get down just to a little bit, you get you went to Walmart. It was for $1 for a big dustpan. Make your job a lot easier. Or a snow shovel will work good. And there's my mulching kit right here for the mower. And what I did for the mulching kit, which I don't see my bolts on here, and there's my contractor bags that I keep. But I did have some bolts on here. I think they're still on the mower, actually. I thought they was anyway. Let me check real quick. But I thought I had. Yeah, I must have. I don't know what happened to them. But I had some bolts on there with the butterfly bolts to make it easier. Oh, there they are. I don't know how they came off. Yeah, here they are right down here. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know how they came off. Grab them real quick. Yeah, here they are. I have to put them back on there. And I keep my boots in here because I like wearing my tennis shoes, my regular shoes when I'm driving. It's a lot easier when I'm driving. So, when I'm going, I go ahead and when I'm at the property, I just take my shoes off. I keep them right here by the trailer, put my boots on real quick, do the property or do however many I got in that neighborhood. Then I just, leave them untied, put them on to drive. But yeah, I got these bolts right here with the butterfly bolts. That way you can just take off the mulching kit put it on real quick. But I just leave that in here, you know, leave my boots and everything in here. And, you know, always keep your jack and everything. Got my WD-40 for the hedge clippers. You know, keep your four-way and a jack. I gotta still get a spare tire also for this trailer. You know, I pretty much got a brand new, so I had brand new tires, so I knew I would have a little bit of time, but still got to get a brand new spare tire. You don't want to get caught without a spare tire. So let me run you through, show you what I do. So what I did is my 12-volt cigarette lighter doesn't work in the car, which I never, you know, even fixed it. I had this battery and I got a winch that I'm going to put on the trailer. That way, if my mower ever goes down, I can just winch it onto the trailer instead of, you know, trying to push it or trying to find someone to help me push it. You know, that way I can, you know, just put it up there, or I can take the winch off. I'll make it, you know, easy to take off. That way, if I get stuck somewhere, I can just get the winch and, you know, get it unstuck. But I'll leave this battery here for now, and later on, once I get a bigger trailer in that and put the winch on there, I'll keep it on there. But I'll put these quick connects on this, you know, it came with the cigarette plug. So I put these quick connects that I had off of my power inverter. And that's in the car that I use for charging everything because my cigarette lighter doesn't work. And so, you know, I took these off. That way I can hook the power inverter directly onto the battery. So then when I got this, I went ahead and put them on here. And then I just, you know, put them right on the battery real quick. Air up the tire. Then once I would air up the tire, I keep a bottle of Dawn dish soap water. Keep a bottle of Dawn dish soap water, and then I would go around spray. And when it bubbles up, that's when you know there's a hole right there. And let me tell you something else that I, you know, it's not rocket science, you know, or nothing, but another thing I figured out, and if you're ever out in the field and you ain't got no water supply anywhere, say you ain't even got no bottles of water or nothing, another thing that you could use if you don't have any water is take your cooler and take the plug, the drain plug. Your cooler has been melting all day, cooler's full of water. So that's what I did when I didn't have no water there, is you know, I was at the gas station and I didn't have no water, so I went ahead and you know, used the water out of my cooler. But yeah, let me go ahead and fill this up. If it takes air, it's not looking like it's taking air. Didn't think it would be that low or that bad. Off the bead. All right, so let me get this fixed up so it's taking air. As you can see, it's hot out here. Florida. It's not even hit August yet, boy. I'm getting it. That's all right, we'll get it done. All try this old ratchet strap trick. See if I can get that to work. Yeah, this thing is not one to take air. So have any, I mean, I got some caulking I might be able to try. All right, let's let that dry for a little bit, see what that does. But I can't plug it until I get it to take air. It's way off the bead. I don't know how that thing got off the bead that bad. So next thing I can do is spray some of that this caulking, I'll just have to wait for it to dry. So I'm gonna spray some, wipe this off and spray some carb cleaner on it, see if I can light it on fire and get it to work enough to get the bead back on there. Go ahead and wipe this off real quick. Probably should have tried that first anyway, but figured that caulk might be able to, didn't know how bad the leak was. On there are real easy to turn off. You know, on all these hydro pumps, you got a bolt right here and a bolt on the other side. So you can put a socket, a wrench, or a screwdriver, whatever in there. You turn them and loosen them. You don't have to turn them, you know, just a couple loosens and they're good to go. So let me do that and I'll show you. You know, I have to rotate this wheel around and find out where I gotta plug it. You know, I just used the crescent wrench. Just grabbed it real quick. All you gotta do is loosen them up just a little bit. Cause I don't see nothing right now. So I'm gonna keep spraying it and see if I can find anything. All right, the phone ended up shutting down on me because the heat got to it. It was over 90 degrees this day. So eventually the caulking started working, I guess because it started drying up and it started taking air. I'm not for sure exactly even how it got off the bead that bad. I couldn't find any holes in the tire. I searched and searched with the soap water, but I just couldn't find any holes in it. So the caulking ended up drying and fixing the leak. It took air. I checked it a couple of days later, and there wasn't. It was still aired up to the air I had it in, and so it should be good to go. I actually ended up spraying, some black spray paint on the caulking to make it, look black again. And I'll eventually buy a new tire for it and, fix it right and everything, make it look a lot better. But it doesn't look too bad. So I appreciate you watching this video. Consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment, and you have a blessed Memorial Day.
All right.
Thank you.
Then fill it up with air and see if I can see anything. Just see how much it dropped. It might not. It might be good. It might have been that silicone.